In the previous video, we already have learned about how modules and packages works in Python. We have created our own module, we have created our own package, we have included various variables and functions in all the modules, called their functions, used their variables from the Python interpreter. We have used Python interactive shell in order to use various variables of a given module, various functions of a given module. We already have used all these stuff. Next we are going to learn is about Python's built-in library functions and modules. Python's built-in library functions and modules. There is a special library in Python called Python's standard library. In Python's standard library, you have various methods, various functions are included, various included functions and various included modules. If you talk about various included functions, then you do not need to import any module in order to use these functions. Some examples of various included functions are len function. We already have used len method at many occasions and we actually do not need to import anything in order to use len module. Then pow function to calculate power of a given number. Then string function in order to convert anything to the string. We already have used these two methods. Int function, we already have used int functions. We already have used int function, float function, list function, type function. We already have used max function, mean function. All these functions we have used at many occasions without importing their modules. Okay, that means to use these functions, we actually do not require to import any module. Such functions are readily available in Python's standard library. They can be used without importing any module. Okay. Apart from these functions, there are various ready-made modules which are available in Python's standard library. Inside the Python's standard library, there can be various modules which you should import in order to use their methods and functions, which you need to import in order to use their functions and variables. The first module in this category is math module. Math module. The math module is readily available in Python's standard library. But in order to use various functions of math module, you need to import the math module. Let's try various variables and functions of math module. Import math. Okay, the module got imported. Now let's call math.ceiling, C-E-I-L, means ceiling. Ceiling means a whole number higher than the number you are passing as argument to the method. Here I am passing 1.2. Which whole number is higher than 1.2? Number 2 is higher than 1.2, therefore math.ceil returns 2. If I write here math.ceil and call minus 1.2, then can you tell me which number is just higher than minus 1.2? That is minus 1. Minus 1 is just higher than minus 1.2, therefore math.ceil returns minus 1. The next is sqrt. Math.sqrt. If I pass here any number, say 256, it will return square root of 256, that is 16.0. The value returned by sqrt is float. The next we are going to execute is exponent. If I write math.exp, means exponent 2, it calculates e to the power 2, means e square. Getting it? Press enter and here you got e square. If I write math.exp and write here 7, it calculates e to the power 7. E to the power 7. Okay, press enter, it calculates e to the power 7. The next is absolute value, math.fabs. FABS means absolute value. If I write 2, I will get 2.0 as a result, and if I write minus 2, again I will get 2.0 as result. Okay, so as you can see here, the math.sil returns a whole number, whereas math.sqrt, exp, fabs, these three methods are returning real numbers, means fractional numbers. The next we have is floor, math.floor. Floor means a whole number just less than whatever the fractional number you are writing here. So the whole number just less than 1.3 is 1. Therefore, it returns 1. If I write here math.floor 1.3, but at this time I write minus 1.3. So a whole number which is just less than minus 1.3 is minus 2, and it returns minus 2. There is a method called log method, math.log. If I write here any value, it gives me the result of natural logarithm of that value. Okay, but I can provide here a base of my choice. If I write here 256, 2, then I want to calculate logarithm of 256 on the base of 2. Press enter, I got 8.0. There is a method in the math module called log10 method. Log10 method. The log10 method only calculates logarithm on the base 10. So if I write here 256 and want to calculate logarithm on base 10, I will get this as output. Again, we have something called power function. If I write here math.pow, math.power, and I write 8, 3, then this is my output. It calculates 8 into 8 into 8. The next function we are going to learn is sine function. I write math.sin sine, and you provide here the angle in radians, not in degree, in radians. Okay, so whatever the angle you provide here in radians, you will get sine of that angle. Similarly, we have cos method like math.cos, in which you have to provide angle in radians. We have tan method. This is a tan theta, and in which you have to provide the angle in radians. If you want to convert angle in radians to degree, then you can use math.degrees. Degrees. And whatever the angle you provide as a radian, you will get that angle in degrees. If you want to convert an angle from degree to radian, then you use radians method. Radians method. And here you write angles in degree, and that will be converted into radians. Apart from these functions, the math module also have some important variables. For example, math.pi, it gives value of pi. If I write here math.e, it gives value of e. So all these important values are also present in the math module. So hopefully you understood about math module. Next we are going to learn about random modules. Random module. Random module is used to generate random numbers. Okay, so let's use random module in order to generate random numbers. Of course, you need to import random. Import random. Here you have imported the module random. Then the first method in the random module is random method. That means random method in random module. Module name is random and method name is also random. So you write here random dot random. Module name and function name both are random. Press enter and you got something, a random number. Actually, the random method generates a random number between 0 and 1. If you want to generate a random number between 1 to 100, then you just write random.random and whatever the result you get, multiply it with 100. It will generate a random number between 0 to 100. Okay. The method random.random can be further tricked in order to generate various random values between given two numbers. For example, if you want to find a random number between 15 and 35, you can write something like this: random.random multiplied by the maximum value is 35, the minimum value is 15, the subtraction is 20. Okay, and you add just 15 here. Getting it? So if the random.random generates a 0, then adding 15 will take you to 15. If random.random generates 1, then adding 20 plus 15 will take you to 35. So here we are going from 15 to 35. So a random number will be generated between 15 and 35. Press enter and here we got. Doesn't matter how many times you are executing random.random, there is high probability you are going to get different number at every execution. Apart from random method, we have something called rand integer, random.rand int. So if you write a minimum number here, a maximum number here, then you are going to get a number between these two. Okay, so if you want to get a random number between 15 and 35, just provide them as two arguments of rand int method and you will get the corresponding random number. There is another method in random module that is called rand range. Random.rand range. If you want to get a number starting from 0 up to 45, a random number starting from 0 up to 45. So here you get a random number between 0 to 45. Okay, you can use rand range here in this case. So as you can see, different execution have high probability to give different numbers. If you want to generate a random number, random.rand range, if you want to generate a random number between 11 and 45, you need to call rand range like this. Okay, want to generate a random number between 11 and 45. You can call rand range by using starting point and ending point as its arguments. If you want to generate a random number from a range like this, like you want to start from 11, go up to 45 with a step count as 4. So actually you want to generate a random number out of this list, starting from 11, then 15, then 19, then 23, then 27, then 31, then 35, then 39, then 43. So you are going to pick a random number between these numbers. Okay, if I write here a hash as a comment, because I am using this statement as a comment, press enter, and as you can see 31 has been generated. Okay, a random number will be generated between only these numbers. So hopefully you are getting it. Does not matter how many times you are going to execute it, you will get different numbers, but of course you are going to get only from this range. You will not be go out of this range. So hopefully you are getting use of random module. The next module we are going to learn is statistics module. What statistics module does? It has few important methods. Write a list, say 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 9, 11, 12, 23, and 5. This is the list you have. Let's import statistics. There are three methods in statistics module. The first method is called mean. Mean means average. If you want to calculate average of a given sequence, you can use the mean method. Let's write it. Statistics.mean and pass the argument sequence in it. Press enter, and the mean of these numbers is 8.25. If I write statistics dot median and pass the sequence here, this is the median of the given sequence of numbers. If you want to calculate mode of the given sequence of numbers, then you can write statistics dot mode and pass the sequence here. You got mode of the sequence of given numbers. So these are the some modules, some important modules which are readily provided with Python installations. So there are various modules which are available with Python's standard library, whereas various library you can further download for various other purpose. For example, NumPy library, which can be downloaded for advanced math functionalities. You can use SciPy library. This module is for scientific mathematics. This library contains various modules. Those include functions for scientific calculations. Then you can have various other modules for artificial intelligence, various modules to research on computer hardware, various modules to research on internet, various modules to research on web programming and other stuff. So you can find various Python libraries for various fields of engineering, and you can download those libraries and use modules in those libraries in order to do your work. In class 12, we are going to learn much more about Python's built-in libraries and modules. That's all for this video. See you in the next video.